All right, once again, thank you guys so much for joining our Kenya informational call. My name is Adriana, and I come to you from Black Travelers International. And if you are new to Black Travelers International, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you are interested in our Kenya trip, and I would love to share more information. So, if you're new to Black Travelers, we are a woman owned and minority owned company based here in Atlanta, Georgia, not in the beautiful Kenya, as you can see behind me. But we're based in Atlanta, Georgia, and we were founded in 2021. And since then, we've been in over 20 countries all over the world. We have people that join us from all over the world in our destination, from the US, the UK, from Australia, from Europe, from Africa, that actually join us in our destination countries. So all of the packages that you'll see are going to be land only based on where you're coming from. It'll be a land only package. We are also fully licensed and insured. So the site where I'm going to be showing you is going to be actually directly from our Kenya site on our website. So I'm going to share my screen, and if you guys can just give me a thumbs up when you are able to see my screen, that will be great. So you can either give me a thumbs up through the being off camera or on camera, or you can give me a thumbs up on your reaction. Is everyone able to see? Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you so much, LaShonda. Thank you so much, Melanie. Thank you guys. All right. So, like I mentioned, all of the details that we'll go over today is going to be found on our website, blacktravelers.int.com. And this one is /Kenya. So I'm going to put this link directly in the chat for you. And in the chat is also the email for our support team. So if there's any questions that you may think of after the chat, feel free to save that email and you can send us over an email after this Zoom call. So just really quick, I want to show you first how I got to this page. So I'm going to just put in blacktravelers.int.com. And here I went to group trips, and we've separated all of our destinations by region as well as by year. So this trip is a 2027 trip to Kenya. So I can either search by year and go to 2027 tours, and you would be able to find our Kenya trip here. Or I can go to group trips by region, Africa tours, and then you'll find our Kenya trip here. Okay. So now that we have found our Kenya trip, we'll be in Kenya from November 7th, 2027 to November 14th, 2027. We will begin in Nairobi, and that's where a big majority of our tour will be, and that's in the capital of Kenya. And you'll see some of the highlights on our page as well. So we'll spend an 8-day full trip moving through Kenya. And some of the itinerary of what that will include would be a daily breakfast, which is included in our trip, and we'll have select meals that will be included, such as the welcome dinner and our farewell dinner. Our welcome dinner will be on the very first night when you arrive on the 7th, and then the farewell dinner will occur the night before we leave. We'll also be able to see some of the wildlife in Nairobi as well. And so we'll visit the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust and Giraffe Center, which is a very popular highlight in Nairobi, where you'll be able to see some baby elephants and you'll be able to feed the giraffes at eye level, which is such an unforgettable experience. We also have an optional excursion where you can visit the Nairobi National Park experience. And that's for people who just want a little bit of the safari experience. If you've ever seen of pictures or videos of people in Jeeps on safari trips in their khaki outfit, that is what you'll see here. So it is an optional half-day game drive, and you'll be able to see the wildlife freely roam. And it's a great way for you to just take part in some of the beauty that is Kenya. Again, that is an optional excursion. We'll also visit through Kenya as well, some of the bomas. And that's just one of the lively tradition where through music, dance, storytelling, you'll be able to see the culture come to life. All of our tours is by an English speaking tour guide. And then we also have a Black Travelers International host that's on every single trip. Some more of our itinerary does also include some where a beach day where we'll go alongside Kenya's coastline, where you'll be able to see the beautiful water, the white sand beaches, and you'll be able to kind of have a slower day where we embrace the rest and the beauty of the coastline, and of course, so the luxury that's built into Black Travelers International. We also will include in our trip, all of our trips do include a Black Travelers host, but also a Black Travelers gift as well. And our stay will be at a select boutique. So that's actually a very luxury part of Black Travelers International. And then some of the other meals that are included is a daily breakfast and then two lunches. The reason for that is we want you to be able to have the autonomy to explore on your own and enjoy some of the cuisine that's in the area. As we are a group trip, these meals, daily breakfast and two lunches, will be held together. And then you have the option as you build your relationships with the people that are traveling with us to be able to go and explore some of the other options that are nearby. What we've included here on our website for you, and so I highly recommend you guys to head over to the website because we've included a full download for you. I'm going to click on this download here. Hold on one moment for me. Oh, something is going on with the link. I will adjust that link for you, and I will announce it when the link is ready. So my apologies for that. We're having a little technical difficulties with that link. But in this link that will have our full itinerary for the 8 days of the trip. So if you have any further questions, then you'll be able to pull that. So if you can give us probably about 24 hours, and then the link will be ready for you. So included in here as well, like I mentioned, this trip is a land-only trip. There's no airfare included. The pricing for this trip is for double occupancy, it's $53.50 per person, and then $69.50 per person for single occupancy. We do offer payment plan options that are available, and then roommate matching for women only. We do welcome men on our trip as well. Although our trips are primarily Black women, we do welcome men on our trips as well. So couples travel with us, solo people traveling solo travel with us as well. People come as like a girls trip as well. So we do offer those payment plan options as well as that roommate matching, especially for people that are traveling solo. And I will show you when we go to our booking portal how that will look if you are traveling solo and if you are looking to be matched. Your deposit amount and your final payment amount will be based on the payment plan that you select at checkout. So I'll go more in detail when we go to our booking portal about that. Some of the things that are not included in our trips are any of the meals that were not mentioned above. Like I mentioned, what is included is daily breakfast as well as two lunches. So any other meals are not included, any alcoholic beverages, personal expenses for any souvenirs you may want to buy, which of course, what's a trip without a little shopping? Any required COVID testing or immunization costs is not included. Traveler's insurance, which is highly recommended, is not included. Any gratuities for any tips for drivers, anything like that is not included. Any additional excursions that are not included in our package, such as the visit to the Nairobi National Park, that's an optional excursion. So anything that says optional next to it will be an added cost. And then the flight to and from your home country is not included as well. And we do say to and from your home country because, like I mentioned, we have people from all over the country that, or all over the world, that come and meet us in our destination. So we have people that are traveling internationally as well as domestically within Africa that will actually meet us there in Kenya. When you're buying your flight, purchasing your flight, you will purchase your flight to leave and arrive as well as depart out of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And that's the airport code NBO. Please make sure that you're arriving on November 7th and then leaving on November 14th, okay? It may be a long flight depending on where you're coming from. So just be sure that you're leaving, that when you are leaving your home country, that your flight actually lands on the 7th of November. And then when you're coming back home, that your flight is actually arriving or leaving Kenya on the 14th of November. Beautiful pictures. So let's talk about some FAQs. One of our questions that we get is, what is the activity level of the event or the tours? This trip is lightly active. However, we will spend one day visiting the Nairobi National Park, the Elephant Orphanage, and a giraffe center. So keep that in mind as we are going to do some light walking. We'll also spend 2 nights, the night that we're visiting the Kenyan Highlands, as well as 2 nights at the coastal Kenya as well. Are flights included? So flights to and from your home country are not included in this trip, but the intra round trip flight from Nairobi to Dania Beach and then back is included. Okay, so you'll fly into the NBO airport and fly out of that airport, but we will cover the flight from Nairobi to Dania Beach and back to Nairobi. And that's included in your package. What is the arrival and departure airport? So that is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That is airport code NBO. Again, arriving on the 7th and leaving on November 14th. Will a transfer be provided? Yes, our transfers are included on this trip, as well as the transfers for all of our tours that are listed on the itinerary are included. Please note that flight information must be submitted to our system 21 days before arrival for airport transfers. What we mean by that is we will send out a link that will include hold on one second, I was letting someone in. Nope, I don't think they decided to come in. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. So what that means is we'll send out a link for you to input your flight information, and it'll come straight to us, and that will be due 21 days before arrival on the 7th of November. That is so that we can ensure your airport transfer and that someone will be there ready to pick you up. If we don't have that information, then we cannot arrange for the airport transfer because we won't know what time you come in. So we would need that information 21 days before the trip. What is the difference between a single and double occupancy? Single occupancy is just one person, and the bed ranges from double to a king, depending on the hotel and the country. Double occupancy is 2 people sharing the room, and there are usually 2 beds there, which are usually twin size. And then we do, some hotels also offer couple occupancy, which is 2 people sharing 1 room and 1 bed, and that bed is usually a king or a queen, but that will depend on hotel and the visiting country. Will you need a visa? No, you will only need a Kenyan ETA, which will be an application that you can obtain online in just a few minutes. So you don't need a visa in order to enter Kenya. Should you purchase travel insurance? Yes, you should purchase medical travel insurance, which will protect your health in case of an emergency. But we do recommend purchasing cancel for any reason travel insurance to protect your investment because that covers you if you wish to cancel your trip for any reason covered under the policy. There are no two policies that are created the same. So we do recommend researching the different travel insurance companies to see which one fits your needs the best. But we do recommend uh, getting canceled for any reason travel insurance because anything can happen at any time. And we don't want you guys, we don't want anyone to fall ill and not be able to visit or join the trip and have to cancel and lose out on your investment. So we do recommend getting canceled for any reason travel insurance. And like I mentioned, we don't need a visa for to enter Kenya, but you do need a Kenyan ETA. And that's again just an application that you can obtain on their website and you complete within just a few minutes. You do need a passport that's valid for 6 months past your return date, which is very important, and two blank visa pages. You do need a yellow fever vaccination if you're arriving from an endemic country. And like I mentioned, you do need that ETA, which is the electronic travel authorization form, and that can be obtained before you book your flight. We do have our terms and conditions, which are listed here as well. And then we did provide a few travel insurance providers that you can actually click directly from the website to be able to do a little bit of research to see which one will work best for you. Like I mentioned, we do offer payment plan options that are available, and that's based on the day that you register for the trip. So for example, if you say, Adriana, I am ready, I am sold, I am ready to book my trip for 2027 to Kenya, you will go to the booking page, you will select the payment plan option based on the months that you want to make a monthly payment, and it will tell you what your deposit will be for today's payment or whatever day you choose to move forward with booking. And then all payments will be deducted automatically from the account that you have on file already or the card that you have on file. Like I mentioned, we have roommate matching available. And if you're in need of a roommate and you want to travel solo or you're traveling solo and you want a roommate for this trip, you will select double occupancy. I need a roommate under the occupancy type, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And we will provide you with a questionnaire for roommate matching just to test like compatibility. It does occur 75% after the cost of your trip is paid. And then finalized itinerary is delivered to participants 30 to 60 days before the start of your trip. So like I mentioned, let's go ahead and walk through your booking portal. So you'll click this blue button down here. And it'll open up in another tab for you. You'll select double or single. Double, I need to be matched, or double, I have a roommate. So here it'll say double I need to be matched. And again, we'll provide you with a questionnaire just to so that you can put in some information about yourself for roommate compatibility. If you choose single occupancy, it will change the rate. It will add an additional $1,600. So you'll get the $6,950. And then we also have the payment plan options that are available listed here. So like I mentioned, it'll depend on the amount of payments that you choose. So let's say that you want to do 11 payments of $600.23. The amount that's going to be due today is going to be $347.47. And then every month we're deducting $600.23. And you can choose up to 17 payments because it is in 2027. So that allows you to be able to lower the amount that you're paying every month. And then here you'll just input your information. We do recommend that it is very accurate because we do send over a lot of information via email. You don't just book and we leave you alone. Once you book, we will send you a confirmation. We'll send you a confirmation as well as some additional information on next steps. Especially as we get closer to, we'll provide you with a packing list. We'll provide you with the link for a WhatsApp chat so that everyone can stay in contact, especially while we are in Kenya. And so that information that you list there, the email address has to be accurate because that's where we'll pull it from to confirm. We do ask you to note that you agree to our terms and conditions. And then once you put in your booking information, you can place your order and you're booked for Kenya. Before we open up for questions, I wanted to point out another part of our website. That's our membership. So our membership is where you can unlock a lot of perks as a member that's different than the perks that you get as being a subscriber to our newsletter. So if you're a part of our newsletter, welcome. If you're not a part of our newsletter, please visit the website and you can actually sign up for news right here at the top of the page. That's where you'll get one, the link to this, for example. You'll also get additional promos that we may have, any offers, but you do get to find out first when we have like new launches and things like that. Our membership is different. Our membership is its own separate community. So in our membership, you'll unlock a $200 off any one trip per calendar year, January to December. This discount will apply exclusively to future trip registrations, for example, Kenya, and cannot be applied to past bookings. It also unlocks exclusive chats with our members in Q&A sessions. And our last Q&A was really special because we talked about how to survive long flights, especially if you're coming from the U.S. The flight to Kenya can be very lengthy. So we offered some Q&A sessions, a Q&A session, but we also talked about some ways that you can survive a long flight, especially if you're coming from the U.S. Some more of the perks include a private online community for the members that is very different from the online community that's on Facebook. It's a smaller community. And in there, you can also talk about some tips as well and share those tips with the other members. You get surprise travel boxes or welcome kits for our top tier members. You also get to unlock a $100 credit that can be used for a future trip for every referral that successfully completes a booking with Black Travelers International, because you can share it with as many people as you want and you get $100 off per referral once they've booked. Then you also get additional promos and options outside of what our subscribers that are part of our newsletter get. Lastly, you get spotlight features in our community newsletter, social media, and travel blog. So if you are, for example, starting a business, if you are starting your own blog, whatever new things that you may have going on, as a member, you will get a spotlight feature. And we do have a pretty big following for our newsletter, our newsletter, our social media, and our travel blog. So it is a very good perk. So it is as simple as 1, 2, 3. So you would come on the website, pay the $149 that it is annually to become a member, and then you will receive your code in order to receive your $200 credit. And then you get ready because it's time for Kenya. So all of this information can be found on our website, and that was at blacktravelers.int.com that I dropped in the chat for you. And I am going to stop sharing for 2 seconds so that we can see if anyone has any questions. It is time for questions. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to unmute or you can put your question in the chat. So Tanisha asks, is there a rainy or dry season in Kenya? So Kenya is typically dry, but just like anywhere in Africa, they do have some rainy periods that'll help with like their vegetation and things like that. But it typically can be a dry season. Now the time that we're going is going to be relatively a dry season. Tad, I saw you come off mute. Hi. Okay. So Tad asks, and I'm sorry if that's your initials, and I'm maybe saying that wrong. I'm sorry. But a question is the cost of the half day excursion. So we don't have the cost for it yet because it is next year. But as we get closer to the trip, then we will send out a an email with all of the optional excursion costs because we want it to be accurate. Anything can change between now and next November. So we you typically wait until we get closer to the trip to be able to provide an accurate cost for the excursions, and we'll also provide any additional excursions as well with those costs. But you'll get an email with that. Great question. Great question. Do we have any other questions? You guys, that was a great question. Great questions, you guys. Does that mean I answered everyone's question with our presentation on our website? I think so. Okay, well, oh, we have a question. How do you recommend we dress in Kenya? How is the culture? So typically I recommend um warm but warm but respectable, if that makes sense. Warm but respectable. Because it is, even though it is November in Kenya, it's going to be very warm. So warm but respectable. And I recommend that for anywhere that you're traveling outside of the country, because you want to just be respectable of the locals that live there. Hi, Lynette. I know that you just joined.
So sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So I have put in the chat. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me copy it. I will put the link in the chat for you. So we basically just went through our website, and that's blacktravelers.int.com/Kenya. And you can see everything that we just went over, including the highlights, airport information, as far as where to fly into, some FAQs, how to book. All of that is actually found on our website. So snag that link if you haven't visited our website, and that'll provide you with all your information. And we were just going through questions. Did anyone have any last minute questions? I want to make sure everyone gets. Can you outline the number of nights in Nairobi versus Zayam Beach? Is the last night spent in Nairobi? So I don't have exactly how many nights. If you that's going to be actually highlighted on the itinerary. We were having some technical difficulties with the site, with the link. So if you can give us about 24 hours and then check the site again, the full itinerary will be up there. Okay. We'll make sure that that's up probably before the end of the night, but it'll have a very detailed as far as like when we will be where during that. Now, our itinerary is tentative until we get closer to. So anything can change in between now and then, but that is our tentative itinerary. That's what we'll have under that download button. So I'll just check with Tarsha, the owner, and just make sure that she can get that fixed. So if you can just give us about 24 hours and check tomorrow, that'll have a little bit more details as far as how many nights. And then is the last night spent in Nairobi? Yes, the last night is spent there, because that's actually where we're flying out of to go back to your home country. So you'll fly into there, we'll start there, and then the farewell dinner, welcome dinner will both be in Nairobi. Tanisha asks, will you have Zoom meetings or calls for attendees to get to know each other and provide more details of the trips? I know you mentioned WhatsApp. Yes. So we usually have 1 to 2 Zoom calls before the trip actually happens. So you can meet the people that's going to be on the trip with you. It's nice to see their faces, right? And then, so we do recommend everyone to join that. We understand everyone's really busy, but we do recommend for everyone to join just so that you get an idea of who'll be on the trip. As far as and that'll be the details of that Zoom call or Zoom calls, depending on how many. Um, We usually have 1 to 2, typically one, but if we have like any changes, any additional updates, then we may call for a second call. But that will be emailed. So we do ask to make sure that we're not in Black Travelers International is not in any spam folders or anything like that, so that you'll have all of the updates, Zoom information, things like that as you decide to book. And then as far as WhatsApp is concerned, we do send an email with a link to the WhatsApp group chat. And that's where we will provide that link, that additional information as far as like getting to know, if there's anything that the host needs to tell you guys, if there are any updates or changes while you're there. We're the part of the support team here, like boots on the ground in the States. But then we have our host that we communicate with actively that's there with you. So she will have, or he will have he or she will be in charge of that group chat. But that's where you'll connect with everyone as well, is through that group chat, and then find out like any updates, especially while there, to be able to stay in the know. So we do recommend downloading WhatsApp and then connecting to the group chat here while you're still interstates, or if you're wherever you are in the world. Just make sure that you download WhatsApp and connect to that link before you leave your home country. Will you provide any recommendations for restaurants and nightlife for our free time? Yeah, so typically we can provide that, or the hotel will provide that as well. We, as in Black Travelers, we are very close with the hotel, and so they typically will provide kind of like the best in the area, right? They would know best, right? So outside of the optional excursions and things like that, the hotel can provide any additional activities or restaurants or nightlife that you can go to in your free time. Second question is, what time should we arrive in Nairobi? I know some flights you will have to book the day before. So, and this is a great question, and this is kind of all across the board. Hotel check-in is at 3, pretty standard for all hotels. And so we do ask that you arrive between 11 and 2, so that we can arrange for the hotel transfer. And we can, get everyone transported there for check-in. Now, if your flight comes in beforehand, let's say 2 a.m., then you will have to get an additional night for your hotel. So if you either wanted to fly in the day before, or your flight comes in really, really early, then you would have to get an additional night, because most airports, just kind of as a heads up, we haven't had good luck with people being able to like sit in an airport for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. That's kind of just a states thing. Some airports are like, no, you can't just sleep here. You gotta go. So to be safe, we recommend, if you want to come in the day before the trip starts, like on the 6th, to just get an additional night, and we can provide you with the link on how to book that extra night. Okay. Hope that answered your question. You guys had great questions. Wonderful. Thank you. Got a thumbs up that I answered the question. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I don't want to hold up anyone else's time. I'll give you back some of your time. If you guys think of any further questions, feel free to email us at our support line, as well as you can give us a call as well at our support number. So I'm going to drop the email in the chat here. LaShonda said, how are transfers done? So they're going to be group transfers. So typically, as I mentioned in the FAQs, we'll request for your flight information. And no, so the transfers aren't individual, they'll be group. So there'll be a group transfer. And so we'll have, depending on how many people, obviously, so how many people can fit in the vehicle. Typically, it's like a van, like a shuttle. And so it'll pick up the entire group. Now we will have we do arrange for sometimes multiple transfers in the case of, let's say, someone comes in at 11, but someone else comes in at 1, another person comes in at 2. We're not going to make you wait until 2 o'clock, right? So we will arrange, like, that is why it's very important for you to turn in that flight information form, because we need to make sure we need to, make sure that your flight landed, because we do keep track of that as well. And then you can also let us know, like in that WhatsApp group chat, that, hey, my flight is a little bit delayed, or hey, my flight's not going to be there for another, 2 hours, 3 hours, because we keep track of it, but your flight, the flight information, but we also request for you guys to keep us posted, because sometimes they're not updated as quick. So if we don't know, we ask you guys to communicate it as fast as possible of any delays or anything like that, so that we can let the hotel know, so that they're not expecting you at 1 and your flight is delayed for a few hours. So yeah, so since everyone's not arriving at the same, usually around the same time, we'll have usually a couple of transfers. So they're not individual transfers, but they're going to be based on the group. So if someone's coming in at 11, someone's coming in at 1, someone's coming in at 2, then we may have 2 transfers, and we'll ask, the person coming in at 1, so that we'll, try and see if we can wait for the group that's coming in at 2, and we'll have 2 groups of transfers. Perfect. Awesome. Happy that answered your question. All right. If we decide to pay for the optional national park experience, will you provide guidance on how we should dress and prepare? Yes. So we give a packing list. And we also give some additional information for all of our optional excursions. So yes, we'll make sure you are good to go. We try to make this as seamless of a process from beginning to end, from when you get off the airplane, to when you arrive at your hotel, to when you head back. We try to make it as seamless as possible every step of the way for you. I know, in case of any other questions, does anyone want to come off of mute and ask your question, just so you don't have to type it in? Okay, if we don't have any further questions, doesn't look like anyone's coming off mute. Again, if you the guys think of anything after the fact, I know sometimes when you go through a lot of information, it could be a lot, right? So if you think of anything after this Zoom call, feel free to send us an email at support@blacktravelers.int.com. You can also call us at our 1-888 number that's listed on our website, and we'll be sure to answer any questions that you guys may have, okay? All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I thank you guys so much for joining our call. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you guys for joining. And if you guys think of anything, reach out. We'll be more than happy to assist. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And we hope to see you guys in Kenya. Bye, everyone. Bye.